Hello again, wonderful people. I wasn't expecting to come back this soon with part 2 on the life of Joseph. Now listen, I know I said I'll do this in 2 parts, but I was reading some more on Joseph, honey. And this is getting so spicy, so I'm going to take it straight through to chapter 50. Oh my goodness. Joseph. And from what I read, I'm just going to be dealing with chapter 39 right now. And the things that pop out to me immediately was God's hand on Joseph. Promotion. Favor. Lust. Integrity. Loyalty. Persistence, or more or less sexual harassment. I see wisdom. I see aggression. And even attempted rape. What is this? I see false accusation. I see bruised egos. I see raw wickedness. I see betrayal. And I see injustice. And finally, I see commendation. So let's get into this. Okay, why I saw God's hand and his direction on Joseph? Because remember that when we stop, he was sold to some Midianite merchants, and they were on their way to Egypt to sell their spices and merchandise. And you wouldn't believe who bought Joseph. One of Pharaoh's officials, honey. And not just any one of Pharaoh's officials. The captain of the guard. That's who bought Joseph, honey. And Joseph stayed in his house. So, God's favor, God's hand, God's direction. Now, when Joseph, after a time, Joseph was living in his master's house, his master noticed that God was with Joseph. And God gave Joseph success in everything he did. And while he was in his master's house prospered, and also in his field. So the master promoted Joseph to an attendant, and Joseph was in charge of everything concerning the household. The only thing his master kept from him was his wife. Joseph was in charge of everything. And then the scriptures also tells us that Joseph was handsome and he was well built. And after a while, Potiphar's wife started noticing him, honey. She saw them muscles and them and them six-pack. She saw them, honey, and she started noticing and she started lusting. She wanted him, and she ain't had no shame and she ain't had no pride, honey. So she actually begged him to sleep with her. And Joseph refused. Remember now, and I don't know how many years went by or what have you, but as far as I'm concerned, Joseph is a young boy. Because remember, he was 17 when he was sold. He was only 17 years old. So So she kept on. She kept on pursuing and pursuing and pursuing till Joseph didn't even want to be around her. And that's wisdom. And then she kept on pressing day and night, day and night. She was harassing that young boy. And then, you know what Joseph said to her? And guys, please take note. Please take note. Joseph refused her. And Joseph said to her, my master does not concern himself about anything in the house. Everything he entrusted to me, to my care. No one is greater in this household than I. Only you, my master, have kept or withheld from me. How could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God? So this shows his integrity. This shows his loyalty, not only to his master, but also to his God. And that is very important. So the lady kept on persisting. I mean, this woman was on heat. I know that heat must have was from hell. That must have Gehenna heat. What was under her? Because day and night, she harassed that young man. So one day, and Joseph kept on refusing. Joseph kept on refusing. Men, you gotta refuse sometimes. You gotta refuse sometimes for your own sake and for God's sake. So she kept on. And then one day, Joseph had to do some work inside. All the servants were outside the house. The woman was aggressive and she reached out and she grabbed Joseph. And you know what Joseph did? Joseph took off that coat and he ran. I don't know, but it's just something about coat and cloak with Joseph. You remember his coat of many colors? That got him in some hot water. Now this cloak, the woman grabbed hold of it, trying to get him to sleep with her. But to God be the glory, he ran and he escaped. So what this wicked woman did, she called the servants and said, see here, ice cream. And he ran out. He tried to make fun of us, make fun of me, and tried to rape me. And she, the same story, she kept that cloak by her. So when her husband arrived at home, she showed him Joseph's cloak and said the same story, the same lie. My God, my God. I'm starting to feel sorry for Joseph. Oh my. And this goes to show how dangerous some people can be. That is an innocent young man. Innocent, but because she couldn't have her way with him, and because he refused her, she made a false witness against him. Have any of you ever experienced that? But listen, the story continues. So after her husband Potiphar heard her story, he burned with anger. He didn't even get Joseph's side of the story. That's the great injustice right here. He did not get Joseph's side of the story. He threw Joseph in jail, where the rest of his prisoners were kept. But guess what? God's hand was on Joseph. And God was with Joseph. So when Joseph got in that prison, honey, God showed him kindness and God granted him favor with the prison warden. And you know what the prison warden did? The prison warden, he put Joseph in charge of all the other prisoners and gave Joseph responsibility for everything that went down in that prison, honey. God was with Joseph and God gave him good success in whatever he did. So guys, this is my takeaway. If God be for you, who can be against you? Who can be against you? And let me tell you what Joseph is going through right now. This is just like a bridge to get him to his destiny. This is a bridge. This is just the interim. So sometimes, you know, we might experience certain things, certain setbacks, certain hindrances, certain roadblocks on our way to our destiny. But we got to keep going. And guess what? We got to go with God. We got to go with God, because if God be for us, who can be against us, honey? This gets me excited now. And listen, especially for you men, sometimes, honey, you got to be strong and you have to have integrity. Because listen, it ain't easy out there. It isn't easy out there. And if you don't have Christ's spirit in you, honey, and if you don't got some morals and some values and some virtue, you are going, I feel sorry for you. And this might have been a better time back in the day, but the day we living in, honey, you don't know what this woman carrying and vice versa. We don't know what nobody carrying. So you can't be throwing yourself this way and that way, and you got to be careful and you got to go. You got to move with God. And notice, once God's hand is on you, wherever you go, you are going to prosper. And guess what? The place is going to prosper too. Sometimes, especially in the workplace, they don't know that place only prospering because you there. You move away and see. You move away and see, honey. If they really know, it is only you and God's grace and God's mercy and God's favor keeping that business. So while Joseph was in his master's house, everything prospered. The house prospered. The master field prospered. Everything was successful because God was with Joseph. Now, back to this aggression. Sometimes on your way to your destiny, you could be confronted with some aggressive people. You could be approached with aggression. I don't know if it's spiritual attacks, whatever. But you are going to meet some aggression on your way to your destiny. But guess what? You got to refuse it. You got to reject it. And remain loyal to God. Remain faithful to God and maintain your integrity. Maintain your loyalty. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And on your way to your destiny, boy, people could lie on you. People could discredit you. People could say all kind of things what ain't true about you. But then you know who you are. And you know whose you are. So you got to just continue moving forward, honey. And moving forward with God on your side. So wickedness and betrayal and injustice. We living in some serious times. And some people, when they lie on you, that lie just be so deep. That lie just be so truthful to the hearers. If you don't have God, honey, jail is waiting, or the grave is waiting, or you lose all your reputation, you lose all your credibility. Oh my God, people, don't move without God. Seek Him, seek His guidance, seek His Holy Spirit wisdom, seek His direction, because you need it. You need it. We all need it in this season we are living in. And wherever we end up, once we have God, He is going to grant us His kindness. And He is going to grant us favor with whomever we need favor from. He is going to do that, and He is going to grant us success in whatever we do. So this is all for now. So I'm so excited to continue on to the next session. So remember, don't do anything without God in this season. Seek Him. If you don't know Him, He said, if you seek me, you will find me. If you seek me with all your heart. If He said, if you call on Him, He will answer. So I hope that there is something in this little teaching that you can apply to your life and benefit from. So that is all I have to say until next time. So please like and subscribe. And God bless you, and peace out from the 242, honey.